And like, but every time, I don't know why, but this is what does it for me. First, it's the shake, and then it's the fact that you have to go all the way down.
Oh yeah, every time
to do the mic. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the mic every time. How do you do this shit? I don't, you know what I'm saying? Hey guys.
Yeah. So for anyone watching this who wants to see about how tall I am.
Holy shit. I think I just found my clip.
I can't fit it. I can't fit in the frame.
That's crazy. Hey, real quick though. Just like that. Boom, we started. It's fucking magic. It's fucking magic. You know what I didn't do? Hey, you know what? Should I leave that light on or should I leave the light?
I can hit it.
What's the kitchen look like right there?
Looks like a Little Caesars box.
I'm gonna turn the light off.
And an air fryer.
Girl, kill me. Yeah. I love this shit, y'all. I love this shit. Welcome back. One of the hottest and fastest growing podcasts from the 714 to the 805. You know we're going to start the show off right. This song is called Downfall by a friend of the show, Patrick, y'all. So, some of you know him, some of you don't. But after this, you all gonna know. Because I know him, and he's my friend, right? He's my friend, new to the comedy scene, and he's doing his thing. Just got booked to the biggest show of the year in October. We're going to get into that later. Catch him at Coke, catch him at Gigi's, catch him at Patty's. He's my tall white friend. I don't know if he can dunk yet, but we're going to get into that, because if he can dunk, he's on the squad already.
I can do like layup.
I'm gonna lie. Hey, he dunked at the end. Did he? Yeah, he did. Did you watch White Man Can't Jump too?
No, I didn't see the second.
Pretty good. It's really good.
I saw some of the clips with Jack and Vince Staples.
Pretty good. It's funny. We're gonna get into all that. Well, this episode is gonna be a little shorter because we're on like a little time schedule. We had shit cracking before and everything. But anyway. I want y'all to make some noise, put y'all hands together for my brother in comedy, my new homeboy, Mike G, y'all. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, this shit. Welcome to the spot.
This is an awesome setup you got here, honestly.
Thank you.
Like it's really cool to see all of this coming together.
Welcome to the spot, bro. This is my life. I love doing this. Just knowing that it's right around the corner. Anything you want to do, you can do it. You just got to figure out how. Things like this, they seem so far away. They seem so impossible. Like, oh, I need $1,000 million to do it. Not really.
Yeah, you can do it on a shoestring budget and
straight up.
Just do it. Like that was like T-Pain was talking about that a while ago. He's like, I used to be able to get like $1 million for a video. And they were like, yeah, Schoolboy Q just did one on an iPhone, so
yeah, exactly.
He's like, yeah, so we're not giving you anything anymore.
That's like I was saying earlier. I started on the tablet, then I went to the phone. I know it's backwards. Then I went to the phone, and then now I actually have camcorders. I use camcorders. I'm not using no fancy cameras, no $1,400, $1,000 cameras. Hey, much props to you if you do, but I'm broke, so I'm using my camcorders. But we're not here for me. We're here for you. Comedy.
Yeah, man. What do you want to talk about?
Fucking, how'd you get in? I got too many questions because how'd you get into it? What made you start? You know, of course, all the cookie cutter questions, all the bullshit questions. And I only ask those because people want to know. But I want to start off asking you about your style because I don't know how or why, but it's funny as hell. Just even before you get up, it's always that. I think this might be the first time where we actually got our handshake right.
Oh, I wish I could say that I'm planning that. I'm just not good. Like I always I have like a talent for just like going for the fist bump, and then the other person goes for the handshake, and then I
it's
just
it's like
I
playing
try
rock
to
paper scissors.
I try to flip it at the last second, and then it always messes up, and it's a consistent like.
It works. It works. Like when I watch you go up, and it's like because people notice it's like yeah, bro, yeah. That shit is funny. So that's not planned.
No, that's just me being a doofus. Like that's all. Like I've never been smooth. Like that's all that is.
Dude, how long you been doing it for? How long you been doing comedy?
I started in January. So
of this year.
Yeah.
Fuck. So you're like me.
Yeah. So I moved out here. I got here from Michigan.
Michigan State. Yeah.
I got here on like first second week of January, and then I got here on a Sunday, and then that first Wednesday I was here. I went to Copa.
Holy shit!
And then
fast.
I just watched it, and then the next week I went up, and then I've just been trying to do. I started doing more shows like progressively, but I'm just trying to do as many as I can now, and just keep building, because that's all I can do is just keep getting more material and just try to like tweak it and change it and make it as good as I can.
Yeah, you caught the bug.
It's a lot of fun. And then the other big thing for me is when I moved out here, I have one kid that was like in my friend group in high school.
Yeah.
That's in LA.
Okay.
And then other than him, I don't know anybody here. So I had always loved comedy. Like when I was in like middle school and high school, like I was that kid growing up that like their parents wouldn't let them watch TV shows.
Okay, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like my parents were against me watching like Disney Channel at one point. Like it was like too old for me to not be able to watch Disney Channel.
Right.
But then I just started like staying up late and putting on Comedy Central. And that's when I would be watching, like in middle school, people were watching like Tosh.0, and Key and Peele.
I was on South Park. I'll never not be on South Park.
South Park, Family Guy. I mean, like all of it. And I started listening to it, and then especially like in the summers, they would just air comedy specials on like late as hell, like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then like the ones that late at night too would be like uncensored, so you would get the full legit special, and I would be up all the time watching them.
Do you remember who you would watch?
Oh yeah, so it was Daniel Tosh was a big one. Tosh, I mean the old Jeff Dunham specials. Who else? There was I remember Steve Ranazizi did one. I remember Chris Titus did a couple.
Damn, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, Fluffy was doing them. But yeah, there were a bunch of names that I just saw. Like I would see like also like the Comedy Central presents like the half hours.
Yeah.
And that's where like I heard Jeselnik and like Brody Stevens did one, and a guy named Brett Ernst did one. Like I just remember seeing a bunch of these. Just whenever I could, I would just try to catch one. And then, yeah, when I was in like middle school and high school too, I would it was just when Apple Music Radio came out, and I would just sit on the bus in the morning.
That's not too long ago.
But it was when Apple Music came out was when I had just started high school, and the radio was free before they like paywalled it. So I would just sit and I would listen to like Gaffigan and like John Panette and just like a bunch of like comics, and I would just listen on the bus on the way to school in the morning.
Did you have you incorporated any, like everybody that you named, have you incorporated some of their style into yours, or is this is Mike G, this is it? I'm
sure that I've incorporated like the style has come into it. I think I notice one thing I do notice, like I would watch a lot of late night television, like Conan and like Kimmel and Fallon and stuff like that.
Jimmy.
And I've noticed that like when I first think of a joke, I almost like my go-to voice in my head is like a Conan monologue, which is like a weird, and then I gotta try to like
That's
not do
interesting.
that. But that's how I hear that, or like an SNL, like the news monologue,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. I'm rambling, but I
No,
don't know.
no, that's why we're here. Cause like I like that you said that you already know what you like sound like, kind of, or what you want to sound like. Cause for me, I want to sound like Mike Epps.
Oh yeah,
I want to
yeah.
sound like, cause he's all like goofy and you know what I mean, like he's like I don't know, like for me it's a mixture between Mike Epps, Cat Williams, and Earthquake.
Oh yeah. I saw,
You know me with the freestyle. I just get up there and talk shit. Some people
Absolutely.
don't like that, but
and it works for you really
It
well,
works.
dude. It works for you really well.
How do your parents feel about you doing comedy?
They're really cool with it, and
Nice.
I wasn't fully like expecting that. I mean, like I haven't. My mom came out to visit for the first time recently, and then
She's in Detroit?
Yeah, but all my family is in Michigan. All my I got kind of friends all over the country,
Nice.
but just from college and stuff. But yeah, like my family's all back in Michigan, and then so yeah, my mom feels like like both my parents were just supportive. And
That's dope.
I wasn't fully I wasn't sure if like both my parents were
Yeah.
gonna be cool with it. I don't know if both my parents would be cool with all my material.
Right,
but like,
right, yeah,
But like
1,000%.
I don't post anything yet. Like I haven't started posting anything yet. I just film it so I can like rewatch it.
Yeah, that's so okay. Yeah, see, fucking, you're dope at this already. Is this your first time?
Yeah. This
Boom.
is my first podcast I've ever done.
First podcast, yeah. Hey, real quick, dude, you heard it here first. I'm his first podcast. Nobody can take that away from me. Mike G, bitches. Damn, I got excited and forgot my question. Oh yeah. Okay, so going back to watching yourself, do you find yourself learning from yourself?
Yes and no. Like there's some stuff I don't think I watch like my old tapes or listen to my because I'll record some of them so I don't have to break out a tripod at every like when I show up to Patty's and there's like 2 people in the crowd.
Right,
I'm like I don't
right.
think I need to film this one.
Yeah.
Like I know this is gonna tank.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But I'll go back and it's helped me to come up with new punchlines or just to like see what things have worked and what things haven't worked so I can like change stuff. And I need to do it more. Like I haven't been like I was talking to Russell and he says like he'll watch his old tapes.
Shout out Russell Sandler.
Yeah, absolutely. And he'll do he's told me he'll watch like 30 minutes of his old stuff like a night or like an hour like and I'm like I'm doing like I'll watch like the last set that I did
Yeah.
like an hour before I go up and I'm like I just gotta do it more. But
Have you mastered there I think that there's an art to bombing.
I haven't mastered anything. There's nothing there. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
you're fine. You're fine.
No, like yeah, I definitely haven't mastered the art of bombing or anything like that. It's I eat it and then I just walk off stage and I'm like shit. Like,
when you do you remember your first one?
first time I bombed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was the first time I went to Gigi's.
Boom. Yeah, Gigi's will do that.
It's always, I mean, in probably my first set, like the first time I went up, I couldn't even look. Like it's a Copa. Like Copa's not that, like the lights in Copa aren't that bright. But I was so panicked that I was just like, I couldn't look at the crowd in the back. And I was just like looking down the whole time.
Yeah, it can get to you sometimes.
And like I got enough chuckles to keep me coming back.
Boom, same. Because my first bomb, like, I started questioning. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, but when I went back to watch it, because to me, I bomb all my sets. I feel like I bomb all my sets, but then I go back to watch it, and it was like, nah, dude, you kind of you kind of did it, because when I record my sets, I when you're up there, you don't hear you don't hear as much laughter compared to the whatever you're recording with is actually in the crowd, and you can hear way more laughs. So that kind of what kept me going back. So the couple of chuckles, that's what got you back on the stage?
Yeah, well, it was because I didn't film that. I didn't film my first set or anything, but I went up and I heard enough laughter from when I did it where I was like, okay, I
got something here.
Yeah, like I didn't just go up and just every joke just ate it. Like it wasn't crickets the whole time that I was up there. And that was enough. That was enough for me. That was like just like the minimal amount of positive reinforcement that I needed.
Straight up. Yeah, like, sometimes that's all you need. So I'm at the point now where I don't care as much for the laugh, or should I don't know how to say it exactly, but when you think that you've executed the joke, you said it, you placed it properly, the timing was just how you thought it was going to be in your head, you perfectly deliver a joke and you get no laughs. How do you bounce back from that?
I'm still figuring that one out.
That's my favorite answer.
I'm still like, for me, one thing that I always try to like keep in mind when I'm talking about anything like this is like I've only been doing it for like 4 or 5 months now. So it's like the best people in the world have been doing it for 10, 20 years.
Big time, yeah.
And like what's 5 months in that? It's like like I've heard people saying like you shouldn't even be getting paid your first year of oh,
it's too late
and
for
that's,
that, guys.
Yeah, like it's
way too late for that, guys. We're paid comics over here, all right? Whether you like it or not, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you are. You are.
I made a little bit of bread here and there, but
we're still, but I mean, it's fine. Like, cause like I said, I'm just trying, like I said earlier, I'm just trying to keep building.
Big time.
But I heard it was a comic named Steve Byrne, and he was talking about that on some podcast, and he was like, it's really interesting to see the people who you start out with figure out how to bomb, and just like once you tell a joke and it doesn't work, he talked about like how like Johnny Carson would like tap the microphone and go like, is this thing on? And like there's little like I'm trying to start writing like bomb lines that I can use when a joke tanks, that I can be like,
for sure,
like just something like it's like a branch to catch before I hit the ground. Like it's all it is.
For sure. I don't think I figured that out yet. But the only reason why I don't think I figured that part out, that's interesting. I'm going to have to think about that, because I never thought about it, because I got to the point now, it was like, well, if I bomb, whatever, I'm still going to, you still got to deal with me tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at now. Because before, I would be so in my head, like, damn, that one didn't land. Okay, what about the next one? Like, if my first joke didn't land, I would freak out, and then it's just a domino effect downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm still, especially, like, I feel really comfortable at Copa, but I haven't figured that out yet for Gigi's. And then, like, Patty's is one where it's even, that can be mixed.
Yeah, I want to get there.
If there's, like, 3 people in the audience, I'm like, because I know they heard every word that I just said, and they just staring at me. And yeah, but if it's, if there's a room full of people and they're all like, I can kind of deal with it more if it's like a decent crowd. But if it's like just a few people, I still struggle with it, and that's what I'm trying to like work through. But.
So I was gonna ask you, like, which room is harder to do between Gigi's and Patty's, but I guess that can be subjective, because it also depends on the crowd.
It depends on the night, but I mean, more often than not, it's like, who are you kidding? It's Gigi's.
Gigi's. Like, you know what I mean? Cutthroat.
Yeah, it's. But I went and did one down in the valley, and that one was like that was a bomb that messed me up. It was Theo's last night in town.
Yeah, Theo Blue.
Yeah, like I went down with Bork to LA, did a show.
Boy, that's a good dude, man.
I thought I got a decent like response.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the tape back in the car as I was driving to Patty's. And I was like, that's nothing. Not it. Like there's nothing.
Man.
And I was like, then I had to like walk into Patty's and be like, all right, well, I guess I'm going up in 20 minutes.
Do you perform better when you're drinking or sober?
I try not to drink, but it's mostly just because like it's more like a personal thing. Like it's not even about the comedy. It's just like there was like right when I was finishing up with college, and once I like right after I graduated, I was just like drinking too much. So I was just like, I just try to keep it to the weekends for the most part.
Yeah, no
so
doubt.
like if I got a mic on a Wednesday night, I don't want to be getting sloppy at Gigi's.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
And then I got to wake up for work in the morning with a hangover, and I'm like, let's just not do that. So
yeah, I like that. Because if I'm drinking, I'm having way too much fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like trashy, sloppy. Like, you're going to get these jokes, but you're going to get that. You're going to get like maybe, because when I get up there, I'm at like anywhere from like a 6 to an 8. But if I'm drinking, you're going to get a 10. And you're going to love every minute of it. It's like, because if you don't love the joke, like this is my cheat code. I'm already a goofy guy. I'm already like energy. You know, I've been told I'm just a fun individual to be around anyways. So if I'm drinking up there, if my jokes are whack, my cheat code, my crutch is the energy.
And that's one thing. Like you and Aaron and Russell have all been like, that's one thing that I'm trying to like pick up from you guys, because I haven't been able to figure out how to just keep that energy. Like I'm like a very low energy person in general. So like once I'm on stage, like I'm trying to figure out how to just like stay amped up enough.
That's what I like though. I like that shit. That's what makes your shit funny to me.
Is being more like,
it's like, all right, how am I gonna keep these bitches here? Like, how am I? All right, so guys, I'm up here, and like, but every time, I don't know why, but this is what does it for me. First, it's the shake, and then it's the fact that you have to go all the way down.
Oh yeah, every time.
To do the mic, you know what I'm saying? You got to do the mic every time. How you do this shit? I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Hey guys.
Yeah. So for anyone watching this who wants to see about how tall I am.
Holy shit! I think I just found my clip.
I can't fit in the frame. So like, yeah, every time, like I'm 6'4", so every time I get on, and I just feel more comfortable when I'm just like holding the mic. And so every time, especially like, dude, it's the worst if like David's hosting.
Ah shit! Hey,
he's like,
shout out to David. Oops, sorry. It's Black Month. I can do that.
I love all of them, but like, man, it's like if it's on like the lowest setting, like gotta like, reach all the way down.
Bad. Like, hold on.
Yeah,
you gotta pick the mic up off the ground. Okay, so this is how do I ask? If you're sensitive, fuck you guys, okay? It's not even that serious. Like for real, because when you go up, when you get bigger and bigger and bigger, it seems like people get more sensitive. So, and it's not a horrendous question, but top 5 local comedians that you know, and you don't say me because that's biased. Say me.
I mean,
you gotta say me.
I'd say like in no particular order.
Yes,
right
of course
now.
not.
No particular order, right? Like the top 5, I would probably say with like, I mean, Jake is killing it. I know you've talked about Jake before, plenty on here.
He's on the Mount Rushmore.
I haven't seen him perform too many times, but he's doing different stuff than I've seen. And he's more polished because he's been
Shout
doing
out Pizza Chief.
Like, he's been doing it pretty long. So Jake's up there. I mean, Russell, Aaron,
okay,
Theo,
okay,
and then I mean, like you and David were all kind of the guys who had been doing it for you, like the shortest amount of time of those guys.
Yeah, I'm like 7-8 months in.
But yeah, those were all the guys that were just like doing it, and were just cool to be around. Because like that, like I was saying, like just building a friend group through doing this stuff has been one of the most rewarding parts of me, and just coming out and getting to hang out with people.
Yeah, but even just going to the shows, because Jake has the show, Artie has the show. Yeah, just getting out there and supporting. I love the support. Like, you got a show? I don't even want to be on it. I just want to be there. You know what I mean? And people, they appreciate that. So even if you're not in the show, go ahead and spend $15 at whatever venue that they're having a show, and just have a good time, and you meet people like that.
And that's been a blast for me, just because like when I didn't have anybody out here, so just like getting that's been like one of the nicest things for me, because like I got an apartment by myself, so it's like if I don't get out and do something, I'm just gonna be
cabin fever. Yeah, I remember those
days.
It's
like COVID.
Yeah.
So.
It's cool to have your own shit, but I didn't know. I fucking did not like to share. But when I lived by myself, maybe I should start sharing.
I could use a second person.
Yeah, like I would get lonely. I was like, fuck, man. Hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, all right. Well, hey, if you want to kick it, you pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Put a mask on.
But now, people... Well, now they want to come kick it with me because there's a valid reason to come chill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you feel like breaking the cameras out? It's like, you want to record? It's like, yeah, like pull up, and then boom, let's go viral. Let's go fucking viral, baby. So it even feels good for me to say this, because I never thought about even doing it. You are booked for a show that I'm going to be hosting in October.
And I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait for that.
Hey, shout out to Drunken Stoner Festival 3. It's a 2-day thing. October 20th to October 21st. Did you see where it's going to be at?
I have no clue where it's at. On God, I was just happy to get time.
Straight up, like it's in I don't even know.
It's down in LA, right?
It's like Calabasas.
Oh, it's in Calabasas. Oh,
he just sent me the thing. It's gonna be. Well, it says he sent me a picture. It says, "Welcome to Calabasas. Can you guess where the show's gonna be at?" And I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit. And his shows, they go up, dude. They go up. So this one is going to be another doozy. Like the last one that I did, there was a good amount of people there. It was in the last festival I did with him was in Palmdale. Good amount of people. There was like anywhere from 200 to 400 people there. And then Extreme Roast Battle League, there was a bunch of people at that one.
Just seemed cool. So did anybody like take... I had a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody like take classes beforehand to like work on boxing or anything before? Or did they just show up and start swinging?
There was one guy, he had wrapped his hands up. I was all like, all right. Yeah, and I was like, all right, if anybody's going to do some damage, it's going to be him. But he's the one, he got, he might have got some hands put on him. I was actually supposed to, I was in the show. I was in it. I was supposed to, I was going to get in there and, I still got it. It's like riding a bike for me. I've been training for over a decade. So I wasn't going to do like too much.
Oh, do you do like sparring and, do you do like boxing or MMA?
MMA. Muay Thai, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu.
Oh, hell no. I'm not stepping in there with you. Get the hell, no.
Everybody said that. But, There was a little bit of drama. There was a little bit of drama that happened at the show. It had nothing to do with me, and it had nothing to do with my opponent. But he had his kid with him, and dad mode kicked in, and they got out of there. And I actually commended him for that, because hey, family first, father first. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Fuck this event. You know what I'm saying? Like it got that bad to the point where he's like, all right, we got to get out of here.
Bounce.
So, but other than that, the show was a complete success. That show right there is only going to get bigger. You know what? As a matter of fact, every episode, I have an honorary shout out. Mike, this is your episode, but my heart is too big. I like to spread love everywhere. This dude, he's literally one of my best friends when it comes to this comedy shit. It's two people. It's him and it's fucking Gary Polson. But the honorary shout out again goes out to my brother in comedy, the Drunken Stoner, man. Yak Wiz over here, man. Every show that he does, he's like he makes it a point. He makes it an obligation that I'm a part of it, and he actually gave me the opportunity to produce the whole show.
Oh, that's awesome! So you were producing the whole Extreme Fight League thing?
So with that, right, I wasn't supposed to, but I ended up a little bit. I ended up on the cameras, like
I know how that ends up working out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll just hop in, take it over. What you think about this?
He's like, hey, dude, because like the guy that was producing it, I got the pleasure of being able to help him out with some things. He's like, hey, you have the podcast, you know how to. I was like, yeah, bro, I got you. And then since my guy backed out, he was like, hey, I need you to can you jump on one of the cameras? Can your girl help out too? Because the guy had some of the same equipment that I use. And my girl, she's all too familiar with it now. Yeah. And so she's like, she jumped in and started, she started working with hardware, and I'm just filming with the camera. So I went from being a spectator to being asked to join the show, like literally like 2 days before the show, and then ended up with a producer / cameraman credit. Like it was all over the place, but the show was fire. Go on YouTube, Extreme Rose Battle League. The whole episode's on YouTube. Big thanks to Alec Pritchard. Man, you guys know who you are. Luke Kang, Rat Dick Ralph. You're not gonna want to miss the next one, yo. Like seriously, even if you're not a part of the show, just go watch. Like, dude, that shit has way too much potential. It's like, so you're familiar with Wildin' Out, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so picture Wildin' Out, but at the end of the show, you know how they do the wild style?
Yeah.
They're gonna box. You know what I'm saying? And like, so if it's like personal and you really want to get at the person that your opponent, you use the little gloves. But if it's like fun, parody, comic-y, then he has these giant ass gloves, and they're like big ass sock and boppers. You guys just go in there and have fun punching each other in the face.
Dude, weren't the sock and boppers though just like childhood concussions?
Hell
like,
yeah,
that's the
dude.
only. Like, dude, there was like an inch of padding in those, and you'd be like, I guess it's safe, and then just dome your friend.
Hey, those things never lasted a week.
It was those in the moon shoes, dude.
Straight up, man. I
just injuring people left and right, man.
But this October set, dude, there's gonna be a lot of people. So I say that to ask, what is the most people that you've ever performed in front of?
I'm trying to think. It was probably, I don't know, 30, 40-ish.
It's not bad.
People?
It's not bad.
It was a show I did this weekend. And it was...
What was this?
It was at a wine bar in Santa Paula. I think it was Santa Paula.
Fucking, I was invited to that one. Really big patio?
Yeah. Yeah. It was at Anna's Hard Cider. That's the place.
Boom.
Or
That's
Anna's
the place.
Cider or whatever.
Yeah, I went. I actually went. I think I went a little too late though, because when I got there, they were kind of. Well, I did go too late. They were ending the show, but that's not a bad venue. It looked pretty nice to me.
It was cool. So, I ended up being the only comic there. And it was a fun show. I was glad to be on it. I was happy I could help out. But the guy was used to just doing poetry mics.
Got it.
So he got there and he was like, all right, so I want, like, normally if anyone is listening to this that doesn't already, just isn't already coming to these open mics that we're doing, you normally you just get 5-7 minutes,
Right.
do a light, you get off the stage, you do
Yeah.
your time, and you move on. He was like, we're gonna do a poet, and then I want you to come up and do like one joke, and then we'll bring the next poet in, and you can be like a palate cleanser in between poets.
That's
So
dope. So
it
it's like
was-
you're hosting.
It was well, I wasn't really hosting because I wasn't bringing people in and out.
Got it.
He
Okay.
would just be like, all right, that was a poem. Mike, do you got a joke?
So you're the smooth commercial break.
I'd be like, yeah. Well, it was weird though because the first or the second lady, and luckily I was talking to her beforehand, but she was like, she did like this very personal poem about how she had some, tough times in her life and how like God had saved her, and she had like a
Very heartfelt.
really touching poem. And then I had to come up and be like, I don't know, so you guys want to like talk about Applebee's now or something? like it doesn't. It was just a weird thing. And then there weren't enough poets, so he just.
You were a filler.
He was
a good
like,
filler.
He was like, how much time can you do? I was like, I got like a tight 7 minutes.
Okay.
He was like, can you do 20?
Oh my goodness! Whoa, buddy!
I can.
Whoa!
It's like I'll give it. I can probably get to 15 and then bail. And he was like, that'll do. So it was a good show, but
when it comes to the times, right? Because I learned this about myself. When we do our mics, we do anywhere from 4 to 7 minutes, and then we get the light.
yeah,
I learned that the way that my jokes are structured, they're structured for half an hour to an hour and a half set. And I'm trying to work on that because by the time I start getting comfortable, you know what I mean? By the time it's like, yeah, I'm getting there, sweet spot, I get the light. And I'm like, fucking 5 minutes already? So what I'm trying to learn is I need to come up with a bunch of one-liners for 5 minutes.
Well, you don't necessarily need to do one-liners. But that's one thing I'm still trying to write out myself. And again, I'm not getting paid for any of this. So I'm bombing half the time anyways. But one thing that I've done is like I'll think of like a mini story that I can fit in like 3 minutes or something like that. And then as I'm thinking about that story, I'll be like, all right, well, this story's funny to me. But then I'll like write it down and then go like, okay, well, here's where I can put a joke. Here's like an in where I could change this, I could tweak this thing and add a like that's one way that I've been able to get some of those longer, like condense some of those longer things down into like a couple words. But I mean, it's all, it's half the time it works, half the time it doesn't, and then
I need to see. I'm learning from you, and you see how it works. That's why I love this shit. That's why I love it, because I don't care how long I'll do this shit for 20 years. As long as I can learn something from it, that's the reward for me. I'm still learning. Like, just because you're funny don't mean you can't learn.
No, absolutely. And that's one thing, like that's something that came to me from like my dad growing up, because like whenever I would write something down for like an essay for school. Mm-hmm. He's like a decent writer, so I would hand him my paper, and then it would always be the thing where it would just be covered in red ink, and then he would like X out a paragraph and just have an arrow to the back side of the paper where he'd have rewritten it. And a lot of the time it was just like, okay, like you can get to the point quicker.
Right.
Here's how you can condense this
Trimming
down.
the fat. Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've been able to kind of figure out myself. Like I'll be like, okay, well this punchline could work, and then I say it on stage, and it just doesn't, like nobody, like it's not a punchline to anybody else.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay, well that one, like 1, 3, and 7 worked. I can cut out, 2 and 4 through 6,
right,
and just try to keep the filler lines in just to like progress it. But I don't know. It's tough for me to like pontificate or like, you know, really get deep into like a process of somebody, you know, because like I've only been doing it for so short. It's like half of it's not even working for me yet. So it's.
Jay did something at the Naughty Pines. You were there.
Yeah.
He said the joke, and it didn't land. And then he said it again on purpose.
He does that. Yeah, he's done that.
That was hilarious.
He's done that a number of times. And sometimes the crowd laughs, and other times the crowd just doesn't. And then he'll do it like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then the crowd is just looking at him going like, all right, dude, when you move. Like,
see, but he's at that stage now where it's like, fuck it. Y'all got to deal with me while I'm up here. So it's going to be what it's going to be. That shit's funny to me. I can't imagine being in that situation, though. Like, if you had to say it a third and fourth time, I'm going to start sweating. I would start sweating.
I mean, he's just doing it because he knows he's just making people uncomfortable at that point. Like, he's just like, this is funny. He's like doing it just for himself.
Holy shit. Wrong whole food. Hold on.
At least I think, Jay, if you're watching this, I don't know, don't, you know, it is what it is.
So fucking Aaron, yo, like I was telling you off camera. So at the beginning, Jay went up first at the beginning of GG's. He goes, anybody have any questions? And Aaron goes, cats or dogs? You know, I like both of them. You know what I'm saying? I like both of them. And then Aaron goes, what do they taste like? And I was like, holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Auburn. But, I mean, it's like if you can't fucking, you know what I'm saying? If you can't have a sense of humor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need to be. And if anybody knows that, it's Jay.
Yeah.
Because even after, you know, those dabs and hugs and shit.
It's a tough spot. I tried doing it once, and it just didn't, like, I did the ask, like, I just went, I don't know, what do you guys want to talk about? Because I went up at Gigi's with just nothing.
Gigi's rough,
with
man.
Nothing. And then that was that. I think I did like 3 minutes and just got off the stage. Like, I was like,
bail out.
Dude, I just
bail out.
It was like you play poker and you pull up a 2 and a 7. I was just like, just throw these cards back in.
So I know we got to get up out of here. Because it is 10:05. And that show starts at 10:30?
10:30.
Okay, so we definitely got to do a round 2. Because this was fun. Where can people find Mike G?
Yeah, so my Instagram is GassenMJ. That's GASSENMJ. It kind of gives away what the G stands for, admittedly. I didn't really think that one through before I came here. But yeah, hit me up. Hit me up. That's my handle. I don't know what else to say. I've never done a plug.
All
like this
good,
before.
dude. All good. So, Mike, thank you, bro. Again, also don't forget, October 20th through the 21st, you can catch Mike G at that show. It's going to be crazy amazing. Make sure y'all stay tuned in. Mike, again, thanks. We going to Patty's, right?
Yeah,
we going
absolutely.
to Patty's. All right. Yeah, Quiz has been another beautiful addition to the fastest growing podcast from the 805 to the 714, or vice versa. You already know how I get down. Respect over everything. And you can't fall if you don't trip. Peace.
Someone who believes me for all the right reasons. Nothing can intrigue me. I'm done dealing with